In the intro, for some reason, you see Kiba, Hinata, Shino, Lee, Tenten, Ino, and Shikamaru constantly. And I can't for the life of me find out why these 7 specifically were included together. Like, why are Choji and Neji just nowhere to be seen, and then why does Sakura just join them halfway through? I originally thought it was them waiting and that Choji and Neji are absent cause, well, you know. But surely Kiba wouldn't be here too if that's really what it is. I just don't get it. I don't know how many people have noticed this, but during the full course of this fight, Naruto falls down into the water like this a lot. We're at 2 right now, and I'm just gonna be counting how many times this happens for the rest of this fight, just for the love of the game. Because we've seen most of the massacre flashback during Search for Tsunade, I won't really have anything to say about it, at least until we get into newer content, so I'll just say anything I have to say right here. Number 1, that Itachi shot is still amazing and still iconic. Number 2, depending on how you see it, the massacre can either make Itachi seem super strong or the Uchiha super weak. Cause on one hand, it's like, damn, Itachi's so strong he can take out a whole clan. But on the other hand, it's like, damn, they were so sorry they let one man kill them. 2 in hindsight, but like, you get the point. I think it's worth noting though, at least with a second perspective, that the Uchiha would have trusted Itachi, making the massacre more unexpected. So ultimately, the first viewpoint is the more valid one. Anyways, number 3. Now that we have the context of everything that happened before the massacre, it makes the massacre itself seem so unexpected in Sasuke's perspective. Like, leaving last episode, he thought everything was finally alright and that Itachi was just hard to understand. And then he comes home to see this, like, actually brutal. And actually, speaking of context, I might as well say this so I don't have to constantly bring it up moving forward, but Itachi handles this whole thing terribly. And honestly, how couldn't he? He was 13 and given a terrible ultimatum by Danzo that he was forced to believe was the only way out. And overall, that's why his actions here are so flawed, but make sense given the situation he's in. This is what he sees as the best course of action, while also being the most beneficial to Sasuke in the village. It just so happens to go so terribly wrong since, again, it was flawed. And that's why he blames himself later. Cause it is his fault, just not at the same time, if that makes sense. Anyways, number 4. This look Itachi gives is really sad. It's the face of someone who wishes he could go back, but knows he can. And now he has to live with that shitty ass feeling of hurting the person he loves the most, Sasuke. Not to mention how traumatized he now is from doing this. Like, one frame, 1/24th of a second, and it just captures so much. All around peak.
You may be one of the few who can use Mangekyō Sharingan. Take the life of your best friend. You must kill him.
This obviously sets the stage for Naruto vs Sasuke, but did you know Itachi actually has a real reason to tell Sasuke this? His reasoning all relies on his reference point, as he believes this is the only way to get Mangekyō. Cause he heard Obito's fake Madara Mangekyō story with Madara and Izuna killing the ones most precious to them. Then he saw Shisui die right in front of him, which gave him Mangekyō. So in his perspective, this is the only way. He also sees Sasuke getting Mangekyō as really important cause he believes Madara to be alive. And as we find out after Itachi vs Sasuke, Itachi doesn't fuck with Madara, or rather Obito, cause he knows the truth. And because he wants Sasuke to be the savior of the clan, he in turn wants him to also kill Madara. And I mean, he can't do that without Mangekyō. So like, yeah, it does make sense, it's just a very terrible and very flawed plan.
You killed Shisui?
I did. How else do you think I obtained these powers?
This probably broke Itachi's heart to say, by the way. Still grieving his best friend's death and he has to act like he did it? That's just brutal.
There you will find a secret document. An explanation of the Uchiha clan's jutsu. It tells of the visual jutsu's true purpose.
I'm not gonna lie, the stone tablet is just so funny to me. If I remember correctly, which, let's see if I do, Black Zetsu just fucked with it to say Infinite Tsukiyomi is the move, replacing what it originally had, or rather the story of Kaguya and Hagoromo and all that. And when it's put like that, it really just makes Black Zetsu seem like such a shitter. Which I mean, let's be honest, Zetsu is. But I still think it's funny.
If you discover how to activate it, you will be the 3rd person to obtain the Mangekyō Sharingan, including myself.
Even with what Itachi knows, this is just a blatant lie. He knows Madara/Obito has it, so that's 1. He knows Izuna had it, so that's 2. He knew Shisui had it, so that would be 3, but if he didn't want Sasuke to know, we can discard that one. But even with Madara and Izuna, he would be the 3rd and Sasuke would be the 4th. Unless I'm counting wrong or something, but last time I checked, there's a little more than 3 names on screen, so yeah.
Oh, don't worry. You're not worth killing.
That's why I told you about Mangekyō. It's so peak. I just love how this ends. It's in such a surreal manner to the point where it feels so much like a bad dream, even though the viewer knows it's real. And that plays so well into how Sasuke wakes up. Like, his literal first words after waking up are this:
a dream.
Just for him to immediately realize it was real. Like, the overall tone and the feel of it all is amazing.
Someone said they think he has an older brother. Is that right?
Yeah, he does. But no one knows where he is right now.
You know, I could have sworn you were Itachi. You have the same exact hair. Like, it's actually just the same design. Same hair tie, same everything. Sasuke's initial response the day after the massacre is also just so peak. Because it's so tragic. It feels nihilistic in a way, just because of how empty everything feels, which is perfect for the tone and mirrors how Sasuke's feeling perfectly. He's going to every place that mattered to him, whether it be his aunt and uncle's shop or his own home. And he's hallucinating everyone important to him, which not only hits us like a truck, but also shows us how much trauma this left him with. Like, I can't put into words how sad it is that he's hallucinating them, just to realize it's all gone. It shows so well how surreal the whole massacre was to him, yet how painfully aware he is that it happened. And honestly, it was impressive he was even able to move the day after, let alone walk to his clan's area in the village. Not only that, but it creates such a drastic change from his old life to now unfortunately his new one. He loved his mother, he loved his father, he loved his aunt and uncle, but most of all he loved his older brother. But all of that was just taken from him by the person he looked up to the most. And now he's here, lost, with no clue what to do. When it's put like that, it makes perfect sense why you would choose revenge. Because in some ways, this is his only way out. It's literally all he knows because it's the only thing that presented itself when everything was taken from him. And because of that, it makes Sasuke not even feel like an antagonist during his fight with Naruto, even though he's literally fighting the main character. You know how good a character needs to be to create that feeling for the viewer? Pretty fucking good. Like, the layers, the response, and most of all, even though I've said it already, the feeling? Peak. It's a cool touch that Sasuke's loved ones disappearing looks like TV static. Like they're characters behind a screen. Only in this case, instead of being behind a screen, they're in Sasuke's mind. And the static is him snapping back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Pretty obvious one, but the rain mirrors Sasuke's emotions. After he hallucinates his aunt and uncle, it starts to fall, and as he walks through his clan's area, the rain falls harder.
That boy is the pride of the Uchiha clan. No doubt about it.
Are there doubts now? That's fucked up to say, isn't it? This shot, as well as this shot, are the exact same as the ones from last episode, just this time he's in the rain. Which is just to show how drastic the change is and further show the stuff I mentioned earlier. Still though, good job.
Sasuke? Hold on a minute.
Oh my god. Can we get a shout out Sasuke's mom in the chat? I can't even say it anymore. Yeah, this is just brutal. Just poor Sasuke, not much more to say about that. This being a black cat though is actually really sad too, as black cats in Japan, stray or not, tend to symbolize good luck and protection. But as you heard, Sasuke thought for a second this was his mom, who was that protection for him. But when he realizes it's not, you literally see the hope in his eyes fade away as the black cat leaves, showing he's no longer protected and he's all alone.
He's only thought of Itachi before now.
Shout out Sasuke's mom, shout out Sasuke's mom, shout out Sasuke's mom. The lightning here is actually supposed to show that Sasuke's a shadow of his former self, which is really cool, not only because it's visually pleasing, but also because of the fact that it's lightning. Because Sasuke, as we know, uses lightning style. I've said it already like a ton of times, but this is just brutal. Because you know damn well when he sees this, he's re-seeing the entire massacre. And you can't help but just feel for him, even if you didn't like Sasuke as a character. It's just so tragic for anyone to go through, but he had to live through it at 7. And it shows so well how everything was taken from him and why that caused so much pain. Which helps us understand what he's doing and why he's feeling the way he does during his fight with Naruto. Also, real quick, on a side note, y'all couldn't have cleaned this up? Just chalk marks, they didn't even clean the blood on the floor. Like, Sasuke's still alive, this is his house, maybe do him a solid? He probably had to clean that shit up. And I know it was Danzo too, that fucking rat. What's these pictures on the side walls here? Is it just some folklore? That's gotta be it, right?
So that's what it all means.
Sasuke when he gets infinite Tsukiyomi pilled at 7. I feel like at this point is where Sasuke was set on revenge. Like reading this here, he realizes he 100% needs to kill Itachi. Because the infinite Tsukiyomi is portrayed to be a good thing for the Uchiha, at least if I remember what's on that tablet correctly. So Sasuke's seeing this good thing for the Uchiha and realizing that Itachi went completely against it, which leads him to be dead set on revenge, because Itachi took this good thing away.
You can get away with that stuff because your mom's nice. But if my mother found out I didn't come straight home, man, I'd be in some serious trouble.
Okay, don't get it twisted, right? Shikamaru and Choji are in GOAT Corner 1 and 2. But like, this is kind of an L, let's just be honest. Talking this loudly about their mom the second after Sasuke went through what he went through, like, lock in.
Apparently the entire Uchiha clan was murdered. Yeah, that's what my dad was telling me.
Sorry, could you say it a little louder? I can't quite hear you. Maybe say it loud enough so the whole village can hear it next time.
I wish I knew what kinds of things he said to her about me.
This is obviously Sasuke referring to this line.
When we're alone and no one's around, the only one he talks about is you.
But can we talk about how sad it is that Sasuke never actually got to hear any of the things his dad said about him? The only time he got real praise from his father, at least that we know of, was him mastering Fireball Jutsu and a small compliment on his report card. And both of those times, Itachi was still brought up into the moment, and only during the Fireball Jutsu moment was he not compared to him. Like, and I've said this a million times, and I've said it a million times, but actually brutal.
If you wish to kill me one day, in hate and revenge.
Brother!
Sasuke jumping in here is low-key sad because it means he probably thought Itachi was genuinely there. And I don't even think that's a bad assumption to make, considering earlier he thought he saw his aunt and uncle. Not to mention, he heard a sound and immediately thought it was his mom. Which just sucks to see. Bro was going through it this badly. Like, he jumped in what is most likely a cold lake out of anger, just for the slim chance he could box his brother.
No matter what darkness may await me, if it means killing you, I will meet it head on. And whatever happens, I will get that power.
Cool touch, but Sasuke jumping in the water and floating to the bottom can be seen as him drowning, which I don't think I need to describe the symbolic meaning behind that. Also, another cool touch. This line pretty much directly correlates to Sasuke's actions now. Oh, it goes back to the present right after this? Yeah, that makes sense. Cool little drowning parallel with Naruto and Sasuke. When Naruto is drowning, or for the sake of comparison, in the darkness, he fights to pull himself out. Sasuke, on the other hand, as we see in the flashback, willingly goes in and lets himself float to the bottom.
One thing was worthwhile. Our friendship. We became best friends.
We became best friends?
Sasuke talking about his friendship with Naruto after we hear how to get Mangekyō really sets the stage for this fight. It makes the fight itself much more layered. Not only because they're rivals, but because both of them have genuine reasons to fight that also happen to coincide with their goals. Naruto wants to bring his best friend back to the village, while Sasuke needs to kill his best friend in order to get Mangekyō. Something, by the way, that he is still very much internally battling with as this fight goes on. Also, Naruto's reaction to this kind of implies he didn't even really realize it, which, I don't know, I think it's cool that he didn't even realize that, but he still knew it deep down.
Because we're friends, there's far more meaning in destroying you.
I like that Sasuke's mindset officially going into this fight is that he needs to kill Naruto. It allows us to see what he's thinking and feeling throughout this fight and lets us see how it changes. Not to mention it parallels this Final Valley fight and the other one. And just for reference, let's establish that his mindset right now is that he's gonna kill Naruto to get Mangekyō because it's the way Itachi said he had to do it. Because I'm gonna circle back to his current mindset at the end of this fight. Anyways, this shot at the end of the episode is really cool. I love when they do freeze frames like this. It looks like a picture in a book, or rather a manga, I guess. This, in my opinion, is the best out of the Sasuke flashback episodes. I love the tone during the entire thing. I think it lays out Sasuke's current mindset perfectly. It really lets the viewer feel so bad for him, and that makes him a lot easier to sympathize with. I honestly don't mind the reoccurring flashback. I actually think it works really well now that there's more context to it. I think it makes Itachi's change from loving brother to evil villain really good too. He's this loving brother in the first episode, dead silent in the second one, and then a complete op in the last episode. Other than that though, I don't actually know how much more I have to say. Some episodes just go hard and there doesn't need to be an explanation to it, and I think this is one of those. I guess the only other thing I would have to say about this episode is shout out Sasuke's mom. If you want to support me more than just watching this video, you can become a member on Patreon. And yeah, next episode, for a friend, Okay.